egret. Good morning, my friends. Welcome back on today. Absolutely phenomenal morning. The sun is out. We've got a little bit of foliage on the floor because spring is pretty much here. Meteorological spring isn't for another week, but what are you gonna do? And while I'm out on this walk, I thought it'd be nice to discuss what made this all possible, because as much as we love spring and summer, and generally people don't like autumn and winter, we need those to give us this. I want to do a little ode to winter. As we say goodbye to it, I think it'd be nice to reflect on what it does for us, because yes, it is the season of decay and death. It's more like a phoenix than a pigeon. Everything is cyclical. The seasons being the prime example, and we don't get that cycle unless we have the death. But I want to take buzzard. I want to take a bit of a closer look at how and why. Just going to go and check a spot where I think I see some. I do. Oops. There we go. And that appears to be the season's first wild garlic. Yes, it's wild garlic, definitely wild garlic, because of that there, you can see. These are two separate. Pick it, crush it, smell it. Yeah, that's garlic. Oh boy, fresh and young. Spring is here. Oh boy. So when we look around the wood at the moment, you can see behind me, everything is still quite dead. Everything is still slow. Some of the early some of the early risers are coming up. Some snowdrops we've got coming up, crocuses. The bluebells are peeking through. Wild garlic is peeking through. But for a majority of the woodland, it's still quite barren. But out of that will come the new growth. Because one of the most important cycles that happens throughout autumn and winter is the nutrient cycle. So everything that's dead, it dies for a reason. All of that's broken down by insects, by fungi, by microorganisms, to be made into usable food. It goes into the soil and it prepares that soil and the plants that are growing in it for the next season. Without that death and decay, without that nutrient cycle, it wouldn't happen. While we typically associate autumn with fungi and everything, what you have to remember is that the mushrooms that we find, they are just the fruiting body of the organism that is below our feet. The mycelial network. That's the mushroom. And that never goes away. And so while everything is dying and decaying, all of that network is being fed. It is breaking down. Same with fallen trees. All that fungi are getting in there and they are breaking everything down, and they are composting it, essentially. It's one of the main ecosystem services that mushrooms provide, is the breakdown of all the dead matter. Not only that, but we have the bugs, the beetles, the snails, all of the invertebrate life that feed on dead and decaying matter are also processing it. They are turning it into usable, bona fide, bioavailable nutrients. I've never seen that before. That was really cool. Oh, oh, that was wicked. Winter gives life in other ways as well. There are some species of tree and plant that simply won't sprout until they've had time in either very cold or sub-zero temperatures. They just won't germinate without it. It's called stratification. And so without the cold period of winter, these new trees, these new plants would not sprout. Where am I? The growth of new trees and plants brings me on to the next great thing about spring. Now, we've talked about the kickstart of the cycle, which is the death, decay, and the breakdown, by fungi and insects. But the foliage brings opportunity for things further up the food ladder. Oh my God, is there a more perfect morning? Oh, there's not a cloud in the sky, dude. Migratory birds are starting to come back now. They've either spent their time in Africa and they're coming up here, or they've spent their time here and they're going back. Either way, the ones who are incoming are possibly here to breed. And that's important because timing is everything. Everything is such a finely tuned clock. Oh God, it's beautiful and it's elegant. But things like butterflies, other insects, will time their emergence of their young to be coming out with the fresh new leaves. And also, so do the birds. They will time when they lay and when they hatch with when there is an abundance of food. And that all of that is signalled, by daylight, day length, and all the bioavailability of like all the fruits and the berries and stuff. And this is the other thing you'll see, and hear, in fact, a change in the bird community. We've got some who are coming back. Others won't arrive until later on in the year. But some are coming back. There is going to be a change in the chorus. And if you get out regularly, if you get out for walks regularly, maybe this is something you can try yourself. Go out, stand, listen for 5 minutes. And really try and hone in. I use something called Merlin as well as a bird ID app for birds I don't know, and it's fantastic. If you don't have it, highly recommend. But just go out once a week, hold your Merlin app out, or use your ears, and just listen for the change in the chorus and see if you can identify anything new, or see if you can just, not necessarily identify, just pick it out and go, ah, that's new. Do some research, you may well find that that bird is migratory and has just arrived. In conclusion, I just wanted to do a quick video, a little ode to winter. Like I said at the beginning, I love winter personally. For me, it brings feelings of togetherness and coziness and comfort and, you know, hot chocolate and spices, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, all of that. So I personally love that time of year, but if you're not one of the people who enjoys the darker, colder, shorter days of autumn and winter, then I hope this video gives you a bit of perspective, and maybe give you a way to try and enjoy it a little bit, and if not enjoy it, appreciate it and understand its place in the cycle, and that without it, these glorious spring and summer mornings wouldn't be a thing, at least not in the woodland anyway. Anyway, peace. Just briefly at the end here, this kind of ties in to mental health because, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I know a lot of people struggle at this time of year. That's been especially poignant for me and the rest of my community because about a week and a half ago, we had a suicide in these woods. It's tragic. It happened around Valentine's Day. The poor man. If you are struggling, if you struggle in winter, if you struggle in general, and you need some help, I'm going to leave a number down below. Mental health is quite an important thing to me. The number I'm leaving is the Samaritans, and they have helped me before because I used to struggle quite a lot. I'm better with it now. I used to struggle quite a lot, and they helped me. If you have no one else in your life, or you feel like no one in your life will listen to you or understands, please call them, because life is so much better when you're alive.